What if I told you that your 30s could be the very best time to transform your body for the long term? It is time to stop with the crash diets, the fast fads, and actually start implementing sustainable practices that will help you achieve your dream body in your 30s. Let's be real, getting in shape in your 30s is a completely different game than feeling your best in your 20s. Back then, I thought it was all about pushing harder, eating less, and doing the most in order to see results. It is so sad to think about all of the time and energy I seriously put into trying to achieve my dream body, which was just not even possible for my body type. I wanted to be so skinny. I wanted to get rid of all my curves because that was what used to be in, and so that is what I was chasing. It's really sad that I just wasn't able to accept me for me. I jumped from one crash diet to another and packed my schedule with super intense workouts that left me feeling fatigued, drained, and inflamed. At the time, I thought I was doing everything right, but honestly, it truly just was not sustainable, but it also wasn't giving me the results and giving me that dream body that I was hoping for. Now that I've stepped into my 30s, I just turned 33 a few weeks ago, I've learned to embrace a much smarter, more mindful approach to my wellness and fitness journey. I've really learned over the years that it's not just about the hustle, it's about finding balance, slowing down, and truly listening to your body. This shift has been a game changer and totally shifted the way that I feel and look. I've also been able to take this approach and preach it to my community through my social media platforms, through my app Shape, and I know that it is an approach that is tried and tested and is the perfect blueprint and outline for anyone to follow if they want to feel and look their absolute best, which is what my goal is for all of the thousands of women across the world that I influence and move with and meditate and nourish with every single day. So today I am excited to share my journey with all of you, including 4 habits that I only started incorporating within the past couple of years that have completely changed my life. So get ready for an honest and thorough review of how to achieve your dream body in your 30s. Here's the thing, getting your dream body in your 30s isn't just about workouts and diets. It's about finding what daily routines, habits, and practices you can incorporate in your day-to-day on a consistent basis that actually work for you and your body. What works for you isn't necessarily what's going to work for me, and I think once we start understanding that, like actually start understanding that as a society, I think overall, the majority of us would start to feel a lot better. I think it's really quick and easy, especially with social media, seeing someone do something, and yes, that might be so amazing for them, such as, someone doing a keto diet. They saw the best results and their body's loving it and they're feeling good, strong, and energized, but then you go on the keto diet and you're not feeling all of the same things and you're not getting the results and you feel depleted, unmotivated, and you just can't even show up to your day-to-day. And trust me, sometimes with keto, that can happen to people. Keto just isn't for you, so it's about really finding those practices that you can be consistent with. I think the consistency part is really important, and then incorporating that into your daily routine. In your 20s, your body can often handle more stress, more intense workouts, and the occasional unhealthy habit without too much consequence. You might recover faster and see results quicker with minimal effort. Honestly, so unfair. However, by the time you hit your 30s, things begin to shift. Your metabolism slows down, and you become more aware how lifestyle factors such as stress, sleep, and nutrition really impact your body. In your 30s, it is less about pushing for fast results and more about consistency, balance, and making sustainable choices that support your long-term health. This decade is all about refining habits, building strength, and focusing on feeling good. This is your time to be selfish. As we get older, we're thinking about families, we're thinking about babies, and this is our final opportunity, if we want all of these things, if we want a family, if we want a life partner, to really just hone in on ourselves, focus on all of the things that make us feel good, and really just prioritize our wellness and our happiness. So it is time. I'm going to dive into the 4 habits that I only started implementing again within the last couple of years that have allowed me to have my dream body in my 30s versus my 20s. I'm going to throw up some before and afters here and throughout the video as well, so you can get a better understanding and see for yourself that there really has been a shift from 5, even 10 years ago up until now, and I'm older and hotter, so I'm winning. And I want you to win too, so let's dive into it. The first habit that I'm going to dive into is having a supplement routine. I don't know what I was doing in my 20s. I was not taking any vitamins, any minerals, any supplements. I maybe was taking at some point a sugar-filled multivitamin for women. I don't even know, but there was just not any information as readily available as there is today with social media and just so much more information about the importance of a consistent supplement routine. But honestly, it is so important in so many different aspects of our body. I know that figuring out what supplements work for you can be a little bit daunting, which is why I always recommend the Daily Gem Bite. I've recently replaced a lot of my vitamins I was taking on the daily with the Gem Bite. Gem is more than a multivitamin. It's packed with 20 plus vitamins, minerals, superfoods, prebiotics, and probiotics to support everything from energy and digestion to healthier skin, hair, nails, and long-term holistic health. It's a mix of tangy and sweet and has a chewy, delicious texture. Honestly, I love it. I was consistent with the Gem Bite last fall and winter, and I've been taking it again for the past few weeks. It's been a total game changer, especially for my immunity during this time. Each Gem Bite is packed with incredible ingredients like zinc, which helps support a healthy immune system, and curcumin from turmeric, known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Plus, there's beta-glucan, which nourishes gut health and promotes overall well-being. I also love that they include vitamin D2 from mushrooms, which is essential for calcium absorption and also just promoting strong and healthy bones. Gem combines over 20 real food nutrients, and our bodies actually absorb nutrients from food much better than isolated pills and powders. This means I'm not just taking vitamins, I'm giving my body the nourishment it craves and needs. The best vitamins are the ones you remember to take, and with Gem, you'll look forward to eating your vitamins every morning. Consistency truly is the key for feeling your best. Right now, Gem is offering 50% off your very first month, so head to dailygem.com/KelseyRose and use the promo code KelseyRose at checkout for your discount. Honestly, this is the perfect place to start if you are kind of lost in the supplement world, because this has so many amazing benefits all in one, everything that I just listed. So make sure to check it out and get your Daily Gem. The biggest difference that I started to see when I actually started becoming consistent with a proper supplement routine in my early 30s is the change with my gut health. I've actually been lactose intolerant since I was a kid, and I do have a lot of food sensitivities, but I was not paying attention to any of that in my 20s. I was bloated, I had SIBO, I had a lot of digestive and gut health issues, and a lot of the times these digestive issues can be avoided with proper supplementation. But also, if we know what vitamins and minerals we're maybe lacking in the body, and we can do blood tests and other tests to find that information out with your doctors, we can then properly supplement so that we feel our absolute best day in and day out, and we feel energized and ready and motivated to take on our days, our wellness practices, and routines. So I cannot stress enough, find a supplement routine that works for you. And again, Daily Gem is a really great place to start. The second habit is something so simple yet so effective. Getting 10K steps daily. I talk about this ad nauseum. This is actually a daily practice that I didn't start incorporating until a couple years ago, but once I did, I started noticing fat literally melting off of my body. Again, when I was in my 20s, I had a little bit more energy, I could take more high impact, and I was forcing myself, I would say 4 to 5 times a week, to run 5 to 8 kilometers, because again, I thought that that's what I needed in order to shed fat off of my body. In the end, I actually ended up getting tendonitis in my hip because I wasn't properly stretching before and after my runs. And in the end, I was not achieving the look I was putting all of this energy into getting. It was really frustrating, and I just felt like I couldn't figure out what I needed to do in order to actually get a body that I felt comfortable in. Fast forward a few years later, I started learning more about the importance of walking, and I started understanding that our bodies actually use fat as an energy source when we are walking versus glucose when we're doing higher intensity movement like running. I also started to notice that in the summer when I was living in Toronto, I was obviously walking a lot more compared to the winter, and I vividly remember a conversation that I had with a friend telling her how I noticed my legs were a little bit more lean when I was walking more, and this was even before I became so obsessed with walking. And then once I moved to Miami in 2021, because we are blessed with a beautiful lifestyle here and it's nice majority of the time and the sun is always shining, that's when I really started to tune in to my 10,000 steps a day. I went from doing probably 3,000 to 10,000, and I noticed an immediate shift in my body. So if you feel like you are doing all of the right things, but you are not getting in your daily steps, because at the end of the day, that is average and you really should be hitting that. Start there and watch the fat literally melt away from your body. It is crazy. Walking is also great because it is free. It is low impact. Mostly everyone could do it as long as your bodies are healthy and able to. And there are literally no excuses. One question I do always get asked if I have any tips of how we can get 10,000 steps if we have a busy lifestyle. And my answer always is break it up throughout your day. So you don't need to go for an hour and a half walk at one point in your day. All of your steps from when you wake up in the morning till when you go to bed, they all count. So what I personally do right when I wake up, I go right outside, I go for a 30 or 40-minute walk, do my other morning practices, and then jump into my day. And if you're going to work, you can, even park further, walk to the office, take the stairs up to your office, go for a walk around the block at your lunchtime, go for a walk before you go home for the day. There's lots of different ways to do it. So no excuses here. This is a great habit and definitely a part of my daily routine. I am so happy I started incorporating in my 30s because I know that it has helped me get lean and strong, and it really doesn't exert that much energy because I'm an old grandma and I don't got that energy anymore. Moving on to habit number 3 to get your dream body in your 30s is focusing on high protein instead of low carb. When I went through my phase in my 20s where I started doing all of the crazy fad diets and all of the extreme exercising, I thought that having a low carb diet would help me achieve the results that I wanted. I would restrict myself to having carbs one time a day. So if I had a piece of bread for breakfast, I would not allow myself to have any carbs throughout the rest of the day. So no rice at dinner, no, wrap at lunch. It was strictly veggies and protein. Another really unhealthy habit I had was allowing myself to only have a cheat day on Sunday, which meant from Monday to Saturday, I wouldn't allow myself to have a cookie. There was no donuts, there was no pasta, nothing like that until Sunday. And on Sunday, I would binge. I would eat everything possible. I would go to my favorite restaurants. I would order a hamburger. I would go all in. I would binge. And that is not a healthy mindset. I referenced it in the beginning. Now I focus on balance, eating an 80-20 diet or 70-30 depending on the week, which means 80 to 70% of the time I'm having my balanced meals, high protein with my carbs and my fats, and then that other 20 to 30% is for our cheats, indulging guilt-free and not worrying about the stress of, having a cookie and losing the results. Because at the end of the day, all of that extra stress I put on my body from restricting and not allowing myself to eat carbs and not allowing myself to indulge during the week at all was super detrimental to me feeling good, looking good, and to actually seeing the results. As we all know, when cortisol is heightened and we're in that fight or flight stage, it affects our metabolism, it slows down our digestive system, and all of our bodily functions within just are not working optimally. Because I was also overdoing it with exercise. I was running a lot. I was focusing mainly on strength training, but like heavy lifting, heavy squats, deadlifts, chest press, using barbells. I'm not saying that any of that is bad, but I was doing that 5 to 7 days a week along with conditioning, and that was just too much for my body. So imagine doing all of that and then not properly fueling with carbs. Our bodies need carbs for energy. So I'm so happy that my relationship with food has shifted now in my 30s. I feel like I'm the most lax with food I've ever been, yet I am the most sculpted and lean and have the least amount of fat on my body that I've ever had. Instead of focusing on low carb, I now focus on a well-rounded plate, and also more importantly, focused on high protein meals. On the lower end, we want to aim for 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. So I'm 115 pounds. I want to aim for 115 grams of protein, again, on the lower end per day. I try to get about 30 grams of protein with every meal, sometimes even 40, and then with those additional snacks throughout the day, focusing those on high protein as well. That will help us build more lean muscle, which will help burn more fat, even when we're at rest, which is the most amazing thing. And a higher protein diet will also help us feel satiated and full throughout the day and energized. So balanced, high protein, including carbs. Carbs are not the enemies in our daily diets is so important, and just having that mindset and healthy relationship in general with food is so important, especially when trying to feel like the healthiest, most optimized versions of ourselves. The final habit that I want to share with you today is incorporating low impact workouts. In my 20s, I was doing more and more and more and more and not seeing results. I was doing HIIT workouts, I was doing heavy strength training, and I was focusing a lot on running and conditioning. Again, I was inflamed, I was fatigued, and I was not seeing the results. The one amazing thing about 2020 was that it forced me to slow down. I was no longer able to go to the gym and get my crazy intense workouts. I had to use, especially for the first few months, what I had at home to move my body and to feel good every single day. I used to actually think that ankle weights were a joke. I would see girls wearing ankle weights at the gym and I'd be like, those are so stupid. Those are not doing anything. 2020 happened, I had to buy myself a pair of ankle weights, and I started doing more mat Pilates with my Instagram live community and was like, oh my God, first of all, I am getting toned, and second of all, I am freaking sore the next day, because I started to understand and realize that my body was using micro muscles that I was not engaging at all when I was doing my heavier lifting. So although in the fitness world, I was trained to work out a certain type of way, and that is truly why I really focused on heavier strength training, because in a lot of my learning and teaching, that is what we were taught, and they didn't focus so much on low impact movement. But again, because I was forced into it, I started to see the ways it was changing my body. I wasn't leaving my workouts feeling drained, and I started actually looking forward to my workouts again. The other great thing is that you can literally do it from home. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to spend extra time going to the gym. And that alone has been such a game changer when it comes to actually maximizing my time and seeing the best results with my workouts. workouts. So once I actually started to see that these workouts were working for me and also other people I was doing the workouts with online were loving them, that's when I created my app Shape. And on the app Shape, not only do we have Pilates, but we also have mobility, we have a lot of stretching series, and we do focus on strength training as well. And you can do these workouts from the gym or right from home. This lower impact approach to movement not only allowed me to tone and sculpt my body, but it was also so much easier on my joints. I was no longer getting any hip pain, and I became more open and flexible than ever. Incorporating more Pilates-based movements also wildly changed my core. It is the strongest and the most sculpted it has ever been, and really all of our strength starts right here, and when our core is strong, the rest of our body can begin to strengthen. I now, of course, follow the Shape weekly workout schedule, which is the perfect curated workouts made by me for my members week in and week out, and the results and the feedback and all the testimonials from my members truly do speak for itself. I love that I can get a good workout in while feeling strong and accomplished after, and I have been injury-free for over 4 years. So if you are looking for a more sustainable approach to fitness, I really do recommend incorporating more low-impact workouts. I can help you with that. I will guide you along the way to help you feel your best, and I promise your body will thank you for it. So there you have it, my honest and thorough guide to having your dream body in your 30s. This is the time to really be selfish, focus on becoming the best version of you, and really lean into those self-care practices that will allow you to become elevated and hot. Like, we want to be hot. I'm sorry. But we do. I know that no one likes to say that, but at the end of the day, we just want to look hot. That's not a crime. It is okay. You want to look hot, I want to look hot, let's do it together. Remember, your journey is not about quick fixes or extreme diets. It's all about sustainable habits that work for you and your lifestyle. Embrace the power of a supplement routine to fill in any nutritional gaps. Make sure to stay active and get your 10,000 steps in a day. Prioritize a high protein diet and really start incorporating low impact workouts that will completely transform your fitness journey. As I continue my journey in my 30s, because I'm still in my young 30s, I'm excited to keep sharing insights and tips for all of you so we can be on this journey all together. Make sure to check out my latest video, the #1 supplement that all women should be taking to maximize their results and build lean muscle in their bodies. And I will see you all next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you thought about the video. Bye guys.